What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, this Sherrone Moore situation is, in my opinion, I just think is a very unfortunate situation, especially for the wife and the kids. And it just seems like the more information that comes out is just making uh just making the situation just seem even more and more disturbing, right? And so I was listening to Jason Whitlock and him and his co-host, what's his name, Steve Kim, and they were bringing up like some not just Sherrone Moore, but like different coaches and different athletes that this situation has happened to, right? And I'm thinking that like it just surprises me that like how people are not how even though this happens pretty often when you think about it, how people are not more cautious. Like, it just seems like every year something like this happened. Last year we had the situation with Shannon Sharp. They brought up the situation with Tiger Woods. And what was the guy I spoke about yesterday on my podcast, the guy Mel Tucker. This happened with Mel Tucker. This type of so-called inappropriate relationship, right? And so you have to, as a high-profile athlete, individual, podcast, or whatever, as a high-profile person, you have to really, really be careful, and who you associate with, and you have to be careful with how you move, right? But let's listen to Jason Whitlock's podcast, and I just want to because I remember a lot of these people that Jason Whitlock is speaking about, and I want to listen to this and then come back and give my commentary.
I put together a list here of the top 10 sex scandals, basically of the last 15, 20 years. And I just want your reactions, memories of each. We don't have to be in a rush here, but we spent some time putting this list together and giving each a unique name. So I'm saying this era actually started in 2009 with Rick Pitino, the Louisville basketball coach. And we're calling this the Italian Garden of Eden, AKA the original sin. This is in the summer of 2009 when details came out about Rick Pitino having sex with Karen Cipher for just 15 seconds, according to Pitino, on a restaurant floor. Cipher then turned around and tried to blackmail Pitino, and they took her to court, and she got a 7-year prison sentence for trying to financially exploit Rick Pitino. But do you remember the Italian Garden of Eden, AKA the original sin?
Now, let me say this. I remember that situation. It was a restaurant that Rick Pitino was in with this young lady, right? And they were in there by themselves, right? I do remember that. That was a long time ago, and let me see. Rick Pitino was at Louisville at the time. They had a pretty good team was at Louisville, and another scandal came up about like those guys bringing the players and some of the assistant coaches were bringing like sex workers or not sex, like strippers onto the campus and having those young ladies. I think that was strip for the basketball players and stuff like that. So that was around that same time.
Yeah, and God, this was so bad, and the whole details of the time. I knew Rick. Look, I know Pitino likes up-tempo offense, but geez, a little bit more ball control. Can you at least get 4 passes in before you shoot? Remember Norman Dale and Hoosiers? Oh God! Seriously, I mean,
he ran
just like so they closed the restaurant down for them, and that's what you. Oh, God, some powerful men, man. That access is dangerous, just dangerous.
Yeah. And that is the column that sparked the infamous the Pussy Galore column, the 72 Dolphins can't touch Can't touch pussy galore. All right. Number 2, Tiger Woods, the world's number 1 golfer. We're calling this the Thanksgiving Mascara. November of 2009, in an attempt to escape his angry wife, Elin Nordgren, Tiger crashes his Cadillac SUV in front of their Florida home, exposing the numerous extramarital affairs of one Tiger Woods. Steve, your memories of the Thanksgiving Mascara.
All right, I remember that too, right? And so, but that was the first one, right? And then remember Tiger Woods had another situation where he was dating a young lady. I think she was staying at his house, and he wanted to call in that relationship, and she tried to sue him for $7 million, man. It's just like once you make the decision, once you try to end the relationship, a lot of times it goes south, man. And then people just make all sorts of claims, and then they want all this money and stuff like this. But his wife, Tiger Woods' wife, I remember that situation. She wound up divorcing him, and she got a big chunk of change out of that situation. She rolled out immediately. Wasn't no what they call, like, when you try to work the relationship, like no mediation, no, nothing. She just wanted a divorce. So she ain't
this actually derailed what should have been the greatest golf career of all time. It was never really quite the same for old Elbert. But I remember when it was first reported, it said that Tiger just backed up and crashed into like a mailbox or something. And I said, hold on. I get it. He's a half Asian driver. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And then it turned out Ellen, she had a good short game because she took out the 9-iron. Oh, hell hath no fury, like Elin scorned. And she went 4, and it was never, ever. And you know what was bad about it? Remember they had a press conference, and they even trotted out Tiger's mom. And I'm thinking, This is humiliation. And he was never the same, Tiger.
Yeah, that was the prisoner of war hostage video.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods forced to, that, and then all the other. I still have fond memories of Rachel Uchitel, wherever she's at this time. That was Tiger's sex concierge, Rachel Uchitel.
Remember her.
All right, let's move on to number 3 here, who's already been referenced. Bobby Petrino, Arkansas football coach. This is the crash out, spring of 2012. If you remember, Petrino hired and vetted a 25-year-old assistant, Jessica Durrell. Then he crashed his motorcycle with Durrell on the back, loses his job. She loses her job. This picture of Petrino in the neck brace will live on in infamy. What a crash out here for Bobby Petrino.
What I find interesting about Petrino, what I've been told is very difficult to work with as a coach. If you're an assistant, I think there's a lot of former Atlanta Falcons that are probably chuckling over this, but he's been able to actually have a career, though. Beyond that, though, his coaching acumen is so strong. His offensive philosophy is so respected. Jason, he actually went back to Arkansas this year, served as the coordinator, then the interim coach. So there is a lesson to be learned here. If you're actually good at your job in this industry, there can be forgiveness.
I disagree. I think not only do you need to be good at your job, but I think that you have to know the right people too. So it's more to it than that. So
yeah, you know what's fascinating about this is, holy cow, the Baylor coach. How come I can't think of his name off the top of my head?
Dave Bliss?
Art Briles.
Art Briles, okay.
Yeah. So Bobby Petrino can recover after a sexual scandal that he's involved in. But if your players are involved in some exaggerated sexual scandal, Bobby Petrino, Art Briles has to go all the way to Eastern Mexico Junior College, NIA, whatever, to recover his. It's kind of fascinating that Art Briles paying a stiffer penalty than Bobby Petrino. All right, let's move on. We're going to move up 9 years before our next one. Deshaun Watson, former Houston Texans quarterback, titled The Unhappy Endings. In March of 2021, Houston attorney Tony Busby began filing a string of lawsuits claiming Watson sexually assaulted and or harassed multiple massage therapists. The Texans eventually traded Watson to Cleveland for 3 first-round draft picks.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, all right, so Deshaun Watson, his case was crazy because I think it was like 20-something women that came out and came after him, right? And it just seems like in most of these cases, like once you have this type of these type of allegations or these type of issues can really ruin your career. I don't know if it does something to you mentally, whereas though you because the fans, like every time Deshaun Watson play, he got to hear this and they bring this up. And I guess it wears on you and it has like a mental effect on you. Same thing with like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was never the same again. So a lot of these athletes and, they don't recover from this.
And the rest is Shedeur Sanders' history. Your memories of the unhappy endings.
I'll tell you what was stunning about this to me was that coming out of Clemson with the national title in the history, I argue he might be the greatest Clemson Tiger of all time based on the impact he made. Dabo spoke glowingly of him. He said, this guy's going to be the Michael Jordan of football. And whoever passes up, this kid is going to regret it for the next 20 years. His career got off to a great start in Houston. You're thinking, oh, this could be one of the icon. And we never knew, this is what we don't know about any athlete. What are they really like? And his career was never the same, but it goes to show you that what we believe is the public perception of any of these individuals can absolutely be a mirage. And that's the lesson that we learn it every once in a while. We don't really know any of these guys. That's the truth.
Let's move to Boston and Ime Udoka, Celtics head coach at the time. Something we're calling the Boston P party. September 22, September of 2022. The Celtics suspended and then terminated Udoka after learning of his sexual relationship with the team travel planner, Kathleen Lynch. Nia Long eventually moved on from Ime as well. He paid double lost his job and lost Nia Long. What's your memories of the Boston P party?
Well, I remember now, Ime, he incurred the wrath of black women everywhere. Think about it. Not only did you betray Nia Long, one of the symbols of femininity and beauty, and she's held up as almost an icon. She's very, very nice looking woman, right? But think about the ultimate betrayal. You went to the Dairy Queen on Nia Long. Oh man, double whammy. Double whammy. That's 2 technicals right there for Ime.
It was some people consider he actually went to spoiled milk. It wasn't, or 2% milk, or
it wasn't fresh.
Or skim.
It needed to
milk.
be pasteurized. Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on to a really recent one. Bill Belichick, the NFL coaching legend.
All right. So this video is probably about almost 10 more minutes left to it, but you kind of get the point, right? These a lot of these guys get caught up in these relationships and they lose focus. Then they get outed some kind of way. Either the young lady she filed some type of claim, or maybe somebody somebody else reported. And I don't know, it's just crazy, man. But I don't think that this guy, Sherrone Moore, his case probably is I think the way he crashed out probably makes his case worse than some of these other cases. But I think that Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, that's Deshaun Watson, because he had 20 women, over 20 women come out. So that, in my opinion, that Deshaun Watson situation was a lot worse than this. It's embarrassing for his wife and his kids, Sherrone Moore, but still, man, you have 20 women with allegations against you. That is just so makes Deshaun Watson even look more predatory, you know. So yeah, man, he's guys just you famous guys just keep getting caught up. I was the video, like I said, is really long, and I'm sure that Shannon Sharp is on there. Um, Tiger Woods might even be on there again, but yeah, man, it's a sad case, especially right now that what this guy and what he's going through. But that's my take on it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.